What's up, guys? Coach Brandon here. For our first lesson in our nutrition section of the course, we're going to be answering the question, how much should I eat for my goal? And moving forward, we're going to measure how much in terms of calories. Now, I'm sure you've heard of calories before, but in case you don't know exactly what that means, the calories you see with a capital C are actually kilocalories. And now I'm going to get a little bit nerdy on you, but the official definition of a calorie is the amount of energy needed to raise 1 gram of water 1 degree Celsius. All right. That's all you'll ever need to hear about the science part of it again. But for our purposes, calories are the way that we're measuring energy. And calories have gotten a bad rap for a long time, but literally calories are energy and you need energy for your body to move. So we're going to think about the food that we eat as fuel, right? It's just like gas in your gas tank as you go throughout the day. So calories are going to be the way that we measure how much food that you need to take in. Now, when it comes to weight loss or weight gain or weight maintenance, the three options for what your body can basically do can go up, stay the same, or go down. It's going to come down to an energy balance, which is the difference or similarity between the amount of energy you put out to move throughout the day and exist or live, and the amount of energy that you put in through food. So this acronym right here, CICO, is going to be calories in, calories out. And that's the way that we're going to measure what we're doing with our body. So if you want to gain weight, it's fairly simple. You just need to eat more calories than you're burning through activity. If you want to lose weight, you need to burn more calories through activity than you're eating. And if you want to stay the same, you balance the two. And we're going to talk about that as well. The first thing we need to talk about, though, is this concept of metabolism. So the easiest way to think about metabolism is the engine that your body is running on, the way that it's processing fuel. And your metabolism is made up of a few things that add up to what's called your total daily energy expenditure. And that's the amount of energy it requires to operate you as a human for an entire day or week or set period of time, right? So TDEE is your total energy expenditure across a period of time, usually a day. So what that's made up of is four things. It's made up of what's called your BMR resting metabolism, which is like me sitting here, my heart is beating, right? I have blood flowing through my body. All those resting activities require energy. So that's the amount. If you just sat on the couch all day and just zoned out on the television, that's your resting metabolism, or the majority of the calories that you're going to burn. There's also the amount of energy that you required for movement in exercise, right? So when you're out exercising, you're getting your workout in, that's burning as well. Then there is also just walking around, right? So non-exercise activity. So like just when you walk, you fidget in your chair, things like that. And then finally, it's a bonus when you're actually eating. When you're eating food, it requires calories to break it down, and that's the thermic effect of food. So those four things combined are actually going to add up to your total metabolism. So pretty cool that when you're sitting around, your resting metabolism will burn calories. When you're getting your workout in, you obviously are. When you're eating foods, especially foods that are high in protein, it requires more energy to break them down. And then finally, getting those steps in every day, like we talked about in the mindset and habits section of the course, those are going to add up to increase your metabolism as well. So let's say that your goal is to lose weight. What you need to do is create a calorie deficit. Okay, so deficit means substandard or underneath. So let's say, for the sake of argument, that your total daily energy expenditure is 2,000 calories. So you, for all your movement, your existence, your breathing, respiration, all those different facets of total daily energy expenditure, you're 2,000 calories. Now, if you wanted to stay the same, you would eat 2,000 calories per day. If you wanted to lose weight, you need to eat a deficit underneath that of about 20%. The reason that we go for 20% and not 10 is because there's sort of a band of flexibility where you won't see too much progress. So we want to hit at least 20% deficit there. And you might be like, well, if 20 is good, is 30 better? The answer is actually no, and we'll get into that in a minute. So the goal should be a 20% deficit if you're trying to lose weight. Now, say that you're trying to put on some muscle and gain weight. You already probably figured it out. We need to go in just the opposite direction. So we're going to go calorie surplus, also of 20%. So in that case, it would either be the deficit for 2,000 calories of 20% would be 1,600, or the surplus would be 2,400. So that's how we're going to figure out how many calories you need to get your goal. It's either going to be surplus or deficit. That's the first step. Now, once you've figured out whether you need to lose or gain weight, you're going to need to figure out the exact number of calories that you need, or your calorie budget. And I use the word budget because we all deal with money in our lives, and it's easy to think about it this way. Say that you're trying to lose weight and you set your calories deficit at 1,600. And that's your budget. That's your North Star. Your one rule above all other rules is that you cannot go over that budget, right? Just like when you have a budget financially, you don't spend more than you have in the budget. It's the same thing with your calories. You don't want to spend more than you have there. Very simple rule. Sometimes people like that stop rule, just focus on that budget and you're all good to go. So a lot of my clients don't get any further in the weight tracking process or the nutrition process other than tracking their calories against that number. And they're super, super successful because it's just very easy for them to track calories, make sure that they stay at or around that budget and move from there. So our first step in establishing how much you should be eating and what you should be eating in this program is one, deciding, are you trying to lose weight or gain weight, right? So if you're trying to lose weight, we're looking for that deficit. If you're trying to gain weight, we're looking for that surplus. The next factor is we need to figure out what is your total daily energy expenditure and then figure out your deficit off of this. So once you're done watching this video, there's a link below in part of the stretch assignment. You're going to figure out using a calculator what your total daily energy expenditure is. And then you're going to figure out whether you're going to do a deficit or a surplus and then subtract or add that 20% of calories. So check out that calculator, figure out your total daily energy expenditure, and then complete the worksheet to figure out your calories. And then you're going to post that in the group to make sure that we're sharing and holding ourselves accountable. All right, guys, go figure out how much you should be eating. And then we're going to talk about what is going to be in that nutrition program to comprise those